Well, since we're on the subject, water tower. Mm-hmm. People compare it to the Jeremy Ray Ollie water tower thing, kind of in the same, maybe because it's just water towers, but it's still, bro, these things are like...
sketchy.
To say the least, Raj. I mean, 7, 8 stories, 10 stories high? I don't even know. How... You threw your board down and it looked like it took fucking 10 seconds for it to hit the ground.
I think the one I skated was the taller one. I think was about 60 feet.
Okay.
And the other one was about 50.
Bro,
somewhere
I
in
mean,
there.
you're up 60 feet up in the air.
What? So the one we took off from, it was flat ground?
No.
That's what I was going to say, because it landed, looked like it was uphill.
I explained like most of it in my war. It's like hard to just,
Okay,
like,
well, who cares about that? Let's talk about, okay, first of all, you went there a few times before, right? You checked it out, you cut some rails off of it, right?
Mm-hmm. So I went there 4 times.
4 times.
And the first time Mills and I drove out. Mills had saw it from his car coming home from
Did he
camping.
take a photo of it? And he just said, hey,
nothing.
I have this spot.
He just
Come
remembered
check it
where
out.
it was and was like, it could possibly be skatable. And
you get there, you look at...
So we drove, like, it's a fucking ordeal just to get out there.
Oh.
And so we drove out there. We, like, have to, like, fucking get over this barbed wire fence, like, fucking just figuring all that out was an ordeal.
Okay.
And then we get over to the tower, the silo. I think they're technically silos.
Okay.
And there's a spiral ladder or staircase going up the side of the silo.
Right.
And it had been cut off at 12 feet.
Yeah.
And so we're like, well, fuck. Like, we drove all the fucking way out here. Like, we need to know if it's actually skatable. And so I stood on Mills' shoulders. And Mills is, like, 6'4". Like, he's tall enough. And then, like, I was reaching up. And they're, like grate style stairs. And I just got my, like, tips of my fingers inside the grate. And Mills stepped away. And I was hanging there. And I was like, oh, well, fuck. Like, I guess I'm going up. Like, here we go. And pulled myself up.
Okay.
And then went up there and checked it out and saw that there was, like, nothing in front of the rail. There's obviously a bunch of fucking sketchy shit on the landing. But there was, like, a path that you could land on if you land perfectly straight on the left rail.
Okay.
And I checked it out. I, like, took some photos on my phone. I ran down. And then Mills and I took off, and we talked about it the whole drive home. And then I was chilling at home later that night, like, thinking about it. And I was like, dude, like, I can't fucking remember. Like, if you've ever, like, I guess the only thing I could fucking really relate it to is, like, if you've ever gotten, like, a fight or something where your adrenaline's, like, really pumping, like, you can't really remember it afterwards.
Yeah. Sure.
And then, like, being up there was like that. Like, I couldn't, like, my adrenaline must have been going so fast I couldn't really remember it. And then so we talked about it, and I had the photos on my phone where I was like, oh, we need to go back and check it again. So then we went back with the folding ladder, and Mills went up there with me, and we both checked it. And then we saw, like, the flaws with the spot, like, what needed to be fixed.
Just you two?
Just us two. And then so we drove home, and then we went back the third time, and... because the rails were only about, like, this far apart, where, like, if you tried to skate it, you would hit your face on the other rail for sure.
Right.
And so we cut out the rail that's on the right side, which isn't skatable anyways, because there's, like, a huge, Mills explained it like a cauldron. There's a huge, like, vent thing that's at the bottom where you have to land, like, perfectly fucking straight on the left rail.
Left rail's out of the question.
The right rail's out of the question.
I'm sorry, right rail.
Left rail. You gotta land, like...
You cut out the whole handrail, or just the top?
We just cut the top portion where
Oh.
you'd hit your face on it. And then the fourth time, we talked to Burnett, and we went out there, and we did it.
Because you're up there, and the footage, to me, looked very rusty. It looked like, you know, things have been there for a while, and you're jumping up and down on that thing. I think you even said you threw, like, a big old rock on it to see if I mean, if you fell through... You're talking about falling 50 feet into a silo.
If you fell through, you'd die.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the first try was really, really nerve-wracking. And they're empty. They were oil silos, so they were once filled with oil.
Wow.
And yeah, they were empty. Like you hear it like echoing and vibrating, and like I remember the sound from when I was a kid growing up, because Kennedy Space Center is there, and when they'd launch the rockets, like the sonic boom, like if you had windows or a sliding glass door, like it would ripple.
Vibrate,
Yeah.
And it was the same sound that it would make when you walk on that. Like you take a step and it like come up behind you.
Huh.
And so like you obviously know that they're empty, and
Sure.
just like walking up there is so eerie. When Mills and I went back actually a 5th time to film the clips for the My War, and that was the worst time.
Why?
It was really windy.
Wait a minute. You did it twice? What do you mean you filmed it?
No. Just so to show the spot. All the clips in the My War were
Gotcha.
from the 5th time we went there. And so like we didn't necessarily have to be up there, and it was really fucking windy. And that's when like I think every time before that I was so like, we're gonna fucking do this. Like, we're doing this for a reason. Like that time I was like,
what are we doing
dude,
here?
let's get out of here. And Mills too was like freaking out, and like seeing him worried too. I was like, fuck, dude, like come on.
Like you're on top of this.
Yeah, and we're walking around, you really feel it moving and just like, I guess like bubbling in and out. I don't know how to really explain it. And you have to worry about getting arrested.
That's right.
So I mean,
you've been there 4 times,
dude,
and now you're going there for a 5th time.
How long can our luck run before like the cops are waiting for us? Like,
it looked like he's in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
Yeah, it's far out, but there is like an access road next to it, and they had moved the facility a mile down the road where people still work, and there's new silos.
Oh, so that was kind of an abandoned silo. They
think,
moved.
There was an explosion there and it got shut down.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So yeah,
Christ.
it's pretty eerie.
Was like the way that the spot was, you just like the only trick I could really do is board slide? Or was that like...
For me, yeah. I mean, and that's like the classic move, like rail slide, like first trick on
Would you be bummed if someone went there and 5-0'd it?
Ain't nobody gonna go there.
I mean, it's steep, right?
I mean, please be safe.
Yeah.
Go there. Fuck. But yeah, and I just thought like board slide, like you're hanging the board over, like it's like a classy looking trick.
Sure.
Like it really like in my head I was like, that's because I was like maybe like crook.
I was gonna say,
but
crooks.
then you're like safety zone on the inside. Like board slide the one I actually landed, I had to go really slow and like put it over. I still have the board. I saved,
you
like,
saved it? Good.
all my boards, and you could see like the board side marks are on the back truck. Like it's almost like a truck slide.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's scary.
Full
How many
commitment.
tries?
It was like 15.
Seriously, 15 tries to do a board slide.
Yeah.
And
Like
was that fucking with you?
It was hard, yeah, because in my head I was like, I mean, first try I'm probably going to bail, so I'd go really fast and make sure I can jump to the other one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll land it second try. And then it was like really steep, like really fast slide, had to cope with that. And then I had to like just really like try super hard to do the trick. And that was definitely kind of frustrating, and especially being up there. And I kind of hurt myself while I was up there.
Yeah. There was a sign that they had to put down, and you slipped on it.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like you almost like buckled your leg or something.
I pulled my hamstring and like rolled my ankle a little.
Jeez.
But then the adrenaline was going.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to do this.
How many people were there? You got Burnett. You got 4 filmers.
It was TJ Gaskill, Burnett, Mills, and me.
Oh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And Burnett took the photo from below. He was even saying that he wanted the
an
same water
amazing
tower,
photo. Yeah.
Jeremy Ray type-esque thing.
I couldn't believe that it came out so good. Like with the shadow and everything, like that photo, Mike did such a great job. I couldn't believe it. Like I like had an idea. I was like, yeah, it's gonna look gnarly on board side, and it's a big rail, 16 stair rail.
16
The shadow's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's gonna look sick. And then like the photo came out
Oh my
so
God.
good, I couldn't believe it.
Did you have any idea it was going to be a cover? Like, did he just tell you that's a cover?
You kind of
I
had to
mean,
know.
it's like, look at that spot.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Knew
Burnett
what we
too
were
was
doing.
like,
Quarter page.
yeah, I know.
Yes.
Well, he showed me that he was like, dude, I was looking at the Jeremy Ray cover, and I was like, fuck
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, man.
dude.
Well, you've had a bunch of covers, dude. We have the lip slide at the what is it? The Azusa School. Is that that's gnarly too. By the way.
Yeah. How many
Jesus
stairs is that?
Christ. 20.
25, I think.
But it's tall as shit, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty tall.
Oof.
I like a taller rail though.
You like to pop and get on it,
Mhm.
huh? Oh, interesting.
Why? Because there's not as much impact landing on the rail, like when you get on it.
I think I'm better at just going as fast as I can and fucking sending it than just like being more precise.
Good for you.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe that's why the water tower is so hard.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah.
So the water tower is by far the gnarliest, scariest thing that you've done, or no?
Yes,
Yeah. Wow.
hands down.
Congratulations, bro. That's fucking insane, dude. I mean, just looking at this cover behind you and then the fucking footage and oh my God.
What did you do after you landed it? Like when you went home, did you just like party or something?
Did
What
you guys go to like IHOP or
celebrate? Yeah.
something?
With Chris.
No, what did we do?
Went to Disneyland.
Well, the drive back took so long, and then we like hit traffic and stuff too. It was, we had like a little case of beer in the car driving back.
Nice little party.
And then my ankle was pretty swollen. Like by the time we got back, it was like a baseball on my ankle.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
And I just like got home. I mean, saw my girlfriend. Obviously, like
Sure.
she was very happy that I was still.
You were live.
Yeah.
I think I called my mom, told her, and then.
Oh, so you were telling people before you even went? You were telling your
I
mom,
had
like,
told a few people.
you said, Mom, I'm going to this thing.
If I disappear, that's where I'll be.
Yeah. This is 50-foot oil drum.
Yeah, and then Kyle Walker came over and like we hung out.
Oh.
I think that was like the very beginning of the year, and I stopped smoking weed in the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well,
Like,
let's get this.
I smoked a little
Yeah.
joint and just had a couple beers and chilled.
Wow.
Nothing crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insane, bro. Jesus Christ.